You are listening to the FTWpodcast.com, where we talk about wrestling in all of its laughable glory. Here's a clip from this week's episode.
So it's time for your voicemails. You can leave us a voicemail, any one of you that have phones and or internet. So you can leave us a voicemail by calling us at 313-444-3894. That's 313-444-FTW4. Or you can also record yourself on your computer or phone device and email it to questions@ftwpodcast.com. Any file should do. Any file will do. Try and keep it under 90 seconds or less and kind of close to 10 megabytes as you can. And state your name, and if you could spell it, that would also be great. No last names, just first names, because I don't want identity stolen. Anyway, first one up is Will from Virginia. You might remember him. He's the one who likes us so much. He says hi at the end of his voicemail. See if he does it again. Go ahead and play, Garf.
Okay, this is Will from Virginia. First of all, the Booker T argument as a black champ in WWE is shoddy. Leave us just to look to the Triple H versus Booker feud. You are telling me Goldberg was really worth all that humiliation and still losing the belt? No one is good enough? I find that hard to believe. Tell me what Kofi lacks besides booking compared to Swagger, Ziggler, Bourne, Riley, Ryan? Seriously, there is a bit of a disconnect here, and I'm sorry, but your reasons backing why there have been only 2 examples, 3, including Half-Breed Rock, which, exception not the rule, is shoddy at best, and I just can't let that fly in a discussion sense. It's not factual, in my opinion, maybe? Anyways, have a nice one. Bye.
Oh, he was angry? He didn't even say hi. Although he did say have a nice one, so that was good. Will, really good point. All right, look, I am a huge Kofi mark. The problem I have is, I don't know, I guess if I have to say the reason why he's not getting that big of a push, maybe, I mean, 2 things working against him are size and that he's foreign. But, I mean...
Yeah, but had they not said he was foreign, you wouldn't know. He speaks perfect English.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. I mean, they're kind of... I mean, my confusion is they book him first from Jamaica, then from West Ghana. I would prefer if they just booked him from West Ghana. But they're booking him from West Ghana, but he still has the same intro he had when he was from Jamaica. So...
It's a catchy tune.
No, it is a catchy tune.
I think it's good. For what he's doing right now, I think it's good. But I don't have any argument to counter Will. He's exactly right. The only thing I could possibly say is mic work, but I said last week I thought when he was put with main eventers, his mic work was very good. I don't have any argument. I'm a huge Kofi mark, and I'm with you. It's not, why don't they book him more? I don't know. He takes the tag division from nothing, pairs him with Everboard, and absolutely ignites it to a level we haven't seen in probably years in the WWE. Yeah. I think we've talked about a lack of mid-card faces. He would be perfect to insert in there. He's absolutely better than Swagger at this point.
Yes.
There's no question there. I think a feud between Kofi and Cody Rhodes would be... Anybody not want to see that? Really? I mean, I'm with him. I can't counter your argument, Will. I think you are dead on, and I don't think it's fair. I think it's bullshit, and he needs to either be put in a serious mid-card feud or take some bumps in the upper card and lose some matches. But I want to see him go to the mid-card and be the face.
Look, Kev, I don't think anybody on the show is going to disagree with either you or Will. Any of our fans are going to agree with you guys, too. To play the devil's advocate, the only thing I can think of is that traditionally in the WWE, cruiserweights don't do well. Look at Christian. I mean, he didn't do well until lately. Chris Jericho, yeah, but that wasn't until he just became that epic heel, And then... Garvin brings a really good point. Rey Mysterio, I mean, he kind of checks all the boxes. He's foreign, he's a minority, and he's a cruiserweight, and he does really well. But that's the thing. Rey Mysterio has mass market appeal in Mexico. I don't know what kind of penetration WWE has in Africa, and I don't think it's as much. So, I don't know. The problem is you got to think, how marketable is Kofi? To us, very marketable because he's a dynamic talent, and he's incredibly good at what he does. But to the average wrestling fan, I don't know. He just needs that. He needs that same moment that Cody Rhodes had this year. That X thing, that point that took him from 8 to 10. Kofi hasn't found that 8 to 10 yet.
That's fair. That's a good point. He hasn't had that moment. I'll definitely.
Yeah, I don't know if that's. I think
coming. I still see so much, but you're right. There maybe needs to be that moment that pushes him over the edge.
Okay.
Maybe it's a ladder match. Maybe it's.
But that's a gimmick, though. It's a gimmick match, though. That's the thing. Go on, Rob. I'm sorry. Go on. You were saying he has had it.
Yeah, I think he had. I think he has had that like a couple years ago when he, the first big feud when he stepped outside of like the typical cruiserweights, and he had that feud with Orton, and he just destroyed Orton's car.
Right. That was a great moment, but I think
just went Street Fighter style. Right. And that's the problem, is that he's had that moment. It's just that the WWE just doesn't do anything after he has those moments. It's like, Kofi, that was awesome. Okay. Now, next week, we want you to do exactly the opposite of what you did today.
Well, no, that's exactly the point, Rob. Like we talked about last week, WWE give it, then they take it away. They wanted to give him that, then take it away and see how he bounces back. And that's the problem. He didn't really rocket back up like Jericho did or Triple H did.
But he never lost the fan support. That's the thing.
Well,
yeah, that's true.
It's kind of hard for him to rocket back up when they didn't put him against quality opponents. They kept throwing him against guys that he should beat. So when he did win, it was just like, okay, well, you should win. And then, on the rare occasions that he took on somebody that could have lifted him up, he lost.
Hey, Jericho jobbed for months after he got his big push.
I'm well aware of that, and I haven't seen or heard anything from the dirt sheets about Kofi Kingston complaining about that.
Oh, absolutely not.
About his role. I'm just saying is that it's one thing to job and to go through that and everything, but at the same point in time, eventually the company has to decide, yeah, we're going to go with you. And, maybe it goes back to, maybe it goes back to our favorite criticism. Vince loves big dudes, and Kofi Kingston ain't that big.
No, that's a good point. Anyway, Garv, you said you got a point?
Yeah.
Or a thought?
Well, we are all in agreement then with Will. I mean, that's what Will said, was that it's poor booking that is the cause of Kofi not being pushed to that level. Rob, you referenced the Orton thing. That's all a moment that we all can remember as being awesome. That's when we really started to look at Kofi as being a real contender. And unfortunately, they never really gave him that opportunity to continue. He rarely has mic time anymore. Like the first time I remember him having mic time in, a year where he said something legitimate was leading up to Elimination Chamber. Was in that stupid, discussion that they had in the ring with all the contenders. So it's definitely a booking thing. They're not giving him the opportunity that he needs to make it to the next level. So Will's right. Will is absolutely correct.
Yeah, I agree with him.
Okay, now my question is, when you look at where Kofi Kingston is right now, do you think Kofi Kingston would have been in the Elimination Chamber if Evan Bourne did not have his weed problem?
No. They would have continued to push the air boom.
Okay, Joe, Kevin?
Yeah, I agree with Rob on no, and I think he's exactly right. I think they would have stuck with air boom.
Okay, Joe?
For a while longer.
No, I agree. Okay. The air boom the tag division would have kept going.
Okay, now do you think that this is another point that this is basically the crux of Will's argument? The fact that Kofi Kingston, all of us agree he's so great, the only reason he got a push is because another guy had problems. That Kofi didn't really, WWE didn't go, you are the one that we're going to go with. It's like, crap, we got to find a place for you. All right, we're going to put you here.
No, I think that's exactly what they did.
No, and that's part of the problem. I mean, it's like, is that a race thing? Is that whatever? I don't know. I don't want to,
I guess, to me, that's not, he was a guy they had available that's got crowd, he's a face and he's got crowd appeal. There's no problem with what they currently did. I think the bigger problem is right after that, they set him up in a tag team with R-Truth.
I think there is a problem with that. It's one thing to get, I understand what you're saying, Joe. It's as long as you get into the big match, hey, more on you. But I think from the standpoint of confidence as far as an athlete goes, it would mean more if WWE said, "Hey, Kofi, you know, we've asked you to do a lot of shit work lately, man, and you know you've really done it. You've really been a champ. You know, you've really done everything we asked you to do. Congratulations, you're going to be in the I can talk. Elimination Chamber match. You know, we're going to give you that chance. We're going to see what you can do. You know, the crowd's stuck behind you through everything you've been through. We're going to give you the Rocky treatment and see if you can pull off and see if you can knock Apollo Creed down."
Well, in this one, but Apollo is black.
This is true.
All right. See, now we're doing the basketball football analogies, and we're mixing those up. Anyway, look, Will, you're absolutely right, man, and we are 100% behind you on that. And I personally am looking forward to seeing where Kofi goes on the road to WrestleMania, because I gotta say, if you want to see if he's going to be main event in this year, he's got to be on that pay-per-view. If he's going to have any kind of credible push, he's got to be on He's got to be on the card in some capacity, preferably in a singles match. So,
well, you've heard our thoughts, but now we want to hear from you. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter, and even join us live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. at theftwpodcast.com.